This is Stu McLellan, and he's an artist. Stu, what are you working on?
I'm working on a stone mandala painting at the moment, which is kind of inspired by beach stones from North Devon and Cornwall. But it's a kind of meditative, it's both a meditative practice in terms of making it, but also it's kind of intended to be meditative to look at as well once it's finished. So there's a lot of repetition in it, but also a strong sense of connection to the sea.
Lovely. So some more of the sort of physical aspects of what you're doing. Tell me just quickly about the desk you're using.
So I'm using an adjustable standing desk.
All right.
Which means that I can kind of have it at an appropriate height for whatever I'm working on at any given time. So most of the time I've got it up at this kind of height, sometimes a little bit higher.
Can you just show it to us going up and down a bit?
Yeah, I'm just going to finish this tiny little bit here before the ink dries. So that's the desk in motion. Now, it's very rare at the moment that I would have it any lower than about that. And if I've got it at that kind of height, I would be using this backup chair, which kind of keeps me in a sort of semi-standing position and allows me a degree of mobility while I'm working, which keeps me much more mobile than I would otherwise be in a sort of conventional office chair, which is what I was using until about 2 months ago.
Okay.
Less than that probably.
And has that helped you a little bit with some of the aches and pains you were getting?
Well, put it this way, I haven't had any
Okay.
aches and pains while I've been using this system. I tore some muscles in my shoulder, and it's only been in the last week that I've been pain-free from that. But in terms of my working posture, although I've been using this setup for maybe a month now, it's improved my sense of well-being while I'm working massively.
Cool. And so sometimes you're working standing up.
Yeah.
And you've got a gizmo that you stand on when you're working standing up.
Yes, I do. I'll show you that in just a sec. I'm going to have to finish this bit now.
That's all right.
This is the thing about acrylic inks, is that they dry really quickly. There we go, that's that bit done. So yeah, I'll show you the standing pad. So that's this little device here. It's kind of got a concave profile, which means that if I have the desk up at sort of the height that I'll be working on standing, it means that my feet are constantly able to move, which keeps my muscles working while I'm drawing, and kind of gives me a little bit of, keeping my centre of gravity. And also because I work kind of in different areas of the desk, I might be using the computer for some research work, or I might be dipping brushes into paints and inks and all the rest of it. It means that I can kind of have a bit of mobility while I'm doing that, so I feel like my body's not kind of locking into one position, which is a huge help.
Brilliant. Right, let's come in for you keep working for a bit of a closer look at what you're working on.
So this is me kind of putting a second layer of colour on. So I would draft out the stones in their kind of concentric rings first, and I tend not to kind of plan that too much. I just start in the centre and kind of feel my way with each new ring of stones. And then once the first layer of colour's gone on and dried, then I'll start building up layers of colour. And it might be one more layer of colour, it might be two. And then once those have dried, then I start applying some white ink, which I use with a dip pen to create some seams of kind of quartz in the stone, because quite a lot of the stones that are on the beaches that we go to in Devon and Cornwall have these seams of quartz in them.
Right, yeah, no, I'm familiar with that, yeah.
I can show you a tiny little finished one.
Oh yeah, let's see one.
So that's just a really small, fairly quick piece. Obviously the piece that I'm working on now is a little bit more involved and takes quite a lot more time. But so you can see the little
fine
lines
different.
of
It looks quite
quartz in
different.
there.
Very nice. Lovely. Thank you, Stu. Thank
You're
you
very
for
welcome. Thank you.
showing us how you work.
Thank you.